Jumping straight into it with my retwist. I have not retwisted my hair, I want to say, since November. And you can tell, okay, because your girl was struggling with her parting. This first row wasn't as crispy as it could have been, but I wasn't trying to tug my hair too much. And I was honestly on a time crunch. So I'm like, let me just get it straight as I can right now, okay? We might have to go in a couple days and work this situation out a little bit more. But I use my usual products, the Natural Fingers Shine and Jam, some clips, of course, and then I added a new addition at the end. Well, I guess technically it's not new because I did a whole video on them. But y'all, look at this new growth. Look at this little jungle right here. I was trying to feel for my parts and I'm like, this ain't it. This is not working. I don't know if I would go that long without doing a retwist again because, yeah, it took a little longer than expected and a little longer than I wanted it to. But y'all know me. I separated that thing, pop locked and dropped it, and we got to work. I'm just putting some of that Shine and Jam across the part, and then I'm gonna go in with my rat tail comb, which I actually end up breaking while I was doing this style because it said, let my people go, I've had enough. But I go ahead and comb that through and then separate it a little bit more with the tail end before I get into actually retwisting the lock. Doing my usual motions. I didn't really do like comb coils this time. I did comb out the top of the lock just because I had so much growth. I was like, I want this to be smooth. So I combed out the top of the lock, but then I did my usual little twirling method that I do. And then just tucked in the loose hairs and made sure that any other loose hairs were wrapped around or smoothed down the lock. Again, look at that growth right there. Like, this hair is not in the lock, y'all. To end it off, I sprayed it with some of my Dr. Locks retwisting spray or locking spray. This is not what you're supposed to use it for, but I've decided to use it as a little hairspray, okay? Then jumping straight into the makeup. I'm not going to put every product down because I just made a makeup tutorial video. This is a little bit more dramatic than that, and I am actually using foundation on my entire face. Actually, maybe I should put the makeup title on here. I'm going to do that. I'm going in with my NARS Soft Matte foundation and just putting that all on my face, taking it down my neck. Only thing I didn't do, or where I didn't put it, is underneath my eyes because I don't want my under eye concealer to be dimmed at all. I want that thing light and bright, okay? Making sure to drag the excess on my forehead. I don't actually place any of the product on my forehead. I just take my brush up and through there. Then I go in with my Too Faced concealer and put that in my inner corners and on the outer corner of my eye as well, pulling it up a little bit to give my eyes that little angled effect. I also go in with that NARS Natural Radiant Creamy Concealer and put that in between where I placed those other two, just so that it's slightly toned down but still seamless and bright. While that is hanging out, I do my Anastasia brow freeze and lift those brows up. Okay, we're gonna make them strong. Stand on them. These brows, I need them strong. So I put that brow gel down and then brush my hairs up. There's really not much to brush because I had just got my eyebrows done the day before. So I'm like, what am I brushing? I'm not quite sure, but we're just brushing and then shaping them a little bit just to get ready for when we do our eyebrows. Then I go in with that Morphe eyebrow brush, then I go with that Morphe eyebrow pencil, and I do those small strokes on the bottom of the brow to really, really get that underline going. And then I go throughout the brow, especially not on this brow, but on my left brow, I have a bald spot. I don't know why. It's just like maybe genetic or something. It's always in the same place. It's not like my waxer's fault or anything. Anytime I go to someone new, they're like, you have a bald spot here. I'm like, I know, girl, just give me straight. But yeah, make sure that I'm filling in any spots that are sparse or where I might have a random bald spot. After that, I go in and I start to blend out that concealer. I end up switching brushes because this brush ain't it. But I use a fluffy brush and just get in there. I sped it up because blending is what takes the longest time. My arm be hurting, my elbow, my wrist. I'm like, do I have arthritis or what, girl? But no, I'm just putting in that work. I'm just blending my stuff out. And look how beautifully this blends, y'all. Like, I love this concealer so much. It can be bright, but it's my birthday, so I'm going for dramatic. I'm going for that dramatic look. If I was just doing an everyday makeup, I wouldn't quite use as much, or I would use a sponge so that some of the product gets picked up and it's not quite dramatic. After I've blended that out, I go in and start to place my concealer, my contour concealer, in any place that I want it. So I'm doing my cheekbones, I'm doing my upper lip. I'm going in there and patting that in and warming up my face a little bit more. I believe at this point I had already put some like contour down, but my camera been acting funkified, y'all. My clips have been acting a little cray-cray, but I'ma still make it work for y'all. So I'm putting this in here. After that, I just went in and softly with the damp beauty blender, just patted my under eye a little bit because I was like, okay, I want to be dramatic, but not too dramatic, okay? And I really, really don't want any creasing under my eye, and I feel like this helps with that a little bit. Then I went in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. That was a tongue twister, y'all. And I go ahead and pat that onto my under eye. And this is what I have been doing recently that I feel like really gives you that, like, oh my gosh, is it Photoshop? No, it's Charlotte Tilbury. No, it's her makeup technique type look. I go in with this setting powder first, and then I go in with my loose setting powder, and that's what I actually bake with. Now, you will be bright, okay? You will be bright, so take this lightly. I go in and brush that off, and I really take my time brushing it off because you don't want to be looking ghostly and ghastly out here, okay? But I go ahead and I brush all of that powder off. If I need to, I go in with a little bit more of that Charlotte Tilbury powder because it's like more my skin color and not super duper light, just to finish brushing that off and make sure that there's no harsh lines. Okay, I'm looking at myself like, all right. Then I go in with my bronzer and warm that little area up again, taking away some of that lightness, getting that powder down. I didn't use any blush today because I was like, I'm going for dark, I'm going for mysterious. Who is she? She's me. After that, I went ahead and did a super simple eye look. I just took 2 browns, one lighter and one darker, and put them in my crease, and then also stroked them up, did a little flick of the wrist to make that slightly cat eye effect. And I repeated the same thing with the same colors on my lower lash line, just with a smaller brush. After After setting my face with all this, which of course I didn't get on camera because I was rushing, I added my lip liners. I just used a brown NYX lip liner. I feel like that's what I usually use anyways. And I topped it off with some pink gloss. This is what the makeup ended up looking like. I'm back from outside. I didn't have time to do my hair in a bun like I wanted to do it, so I just kept it like this. Obviously, I had on lipstick or lip gloss before, but I didn't eat and all that, so that's gone. Anyways, thank y'all for watching this Get Ready with me, and I'll see y'all in the next video.